Till now it was more of ops part that was getting automated.
Okay.
Now the intellect part, the cognitive task part, that will be automated. That's why I said it's very important even in human history that now we are seeing the early signs of an intelligent machine. I don't want to create further hysteria, so I would not further do that. I think logic, Tarkshastra.
Okay.
I
am learning a lot also.
So there was, we had a very beautiful concept of Shastrarth.
Okay.
Where two different schools of philosophies and different schools of philosophy which mutually coexisted. They had a way of thinking, they had a belief, and they used to question each other.
Good day everyone, this is Vijetha Shastry here. I'm part of Dexter Capital and Dexter Angels, and the first session of Manthan, I'm going to be the moderator, and it's a privilege and honor to be hosting this fantastic series. Vishwa Nath Jha, CEO of Saarthi, and more than that, a very good friend, a dear friend. So what is Manthan all about? Manthan means churn. So we're going to be talking about this confluence of AI, the culture, the traditions, what is the thing that is happening in India and the world, because it's the most happening talk, right? The AI, chat GPT, etc., etc. But more about that when we start talking about Manthan. To the people who are going to be listening to us, we are going to be hearing Vish talk in Sanskrit, Hindi and English. So let them all brush up their skills. Okay. And okay, why not? Kannada. We're in Bangalore. We're in the IT city. And of course, this is about also a little bit of what Saarthi does. I know that you have been doing some phenomenal work, offering solutions around conversational AI in 11 languages, Indian languages, and to all the top-notch fintech companies and finance companies, Cred, Capri are some of the folks, Bajaj. Amazing, Vish. It's been a great journey since the last 5 years that we have been meeting and talking.
It's been more than 6 years now. We are into 7th year of our operations. 2017 when we started.
Awesome. So today it's about Manthan.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that. What does it mean? And why is it important in today's context for the people who are going to be listening in? It could be people from the industry, from enterprise, from academy world, the students, people who are working. Let's go for it.
I see there is two parts of this question. What is Manthan and how is it relevant today?
Exactly.
Right? So, what is Manthan? So, Manthan literally means churning. And I would refer back to the Samudra Manthan, which earlier happened, which we see in our mythology. Right? So, there were, in that Samudra Manthan also, if you see, there were like two contrasting personalities. One were the good people, apparently, the Dev.
Yes.
And then there were the bad people,
the Asuras.
or the indisciplined people.
Okay.
They were the Asuras. And these two communities came together to find something, to create something, right? And they took help from Mount Mandar and Vasuki Nag, which was used as a rope to do the churning. And as a result of that churning, that halahal came, which Mahadev drank and he became Nilkant.
Yes.
Kamdhenu came, then Mata Lakshmi, she came, and multiple other gifts came.
Very interesting story.
And which were later, distributed among the two parties. So that is what I mean when there is churning, there must be two contrasting thoughts. One, again, if you go back to the three types of gun that every human individual has, Sattva, Rajas or Tamas. So Sattva is to make it appear, ujagar karna, and Tamas is to veil, chupana. So when there are two contrasting thoughts focused on one particular point, it could be idea, it could be object, right? Something new happens. And the idea of Manthan is like we want to engage with two contrasting thoughts, how AI is influencing some particular stream or function of society. At the same time, what are the ill side of it, the ill impacts.
The negative part of it. Yes.
We give equally due importance to both of them, because one would be incomplete without other.
Correct.
So we need to be very balanced in our approach. We address both sides of the story. I think that's what Manthan is. And why is it relevant today, in this contemporary world? because we are a very distracted civilization, I would say today. Everybody is completely distracted because of a number of reasons, which we later deep dive into it. So there, I think it is very important to find a solace. And what will give you solace? So I find that based on my historical study of the subjects, the Shastra basically, I find ki you find solace in truth. So I think that's where I see that is what it does. So I think that's why it is relevant, ki how to find the truth.
Just let's get a little bit to bit, just putting some Saarthi bit into this is that you said that you're working with some of the finest, largest fintech companies or financial companies. It could be Bajaj, FinServ, or it could be Capri, it could be
Shriram,
all these credit,
name them, we have it.
Yeah, exactly. So in these ways, how are you using all this knowledge, your curiosity, immersive reading, understanding, the past, the churning, and you have to build applications. And you also, I mean, I'll tell you why I'm asking this very specific question, right? Because people want to work with new age companies like yours.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to believe that.
Yeah, we will believe that. They also want to understand how you guys are evolving.
Yeah.
So if you have to say this, and don't just have to, look from your angle, because I know you do so much others. So Vish, how does this work when you're having conversations with your team, your people, your fantastic, intelligent folks out here in your office? What do you all talk about?
Largely philosophy.
My God. Okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, largely philosophy and psychology, human behavior, how does brain work.
Neuroscience, etc.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
Because everything is, it's a very beautiful subject. Conversations, we are a conversational AI company. Why have we started conversational AI company? Because I didn't have to study books to study conversations, because they were always happening
around you. Awesome.
Okay, so further move on next half a decade later, if you ask me that, now that you have asked me this question, so the answer is philosophy and psychology. Because why do people behave in a particular manner?
Interesting.
You have to study that.
Okay.
And we are working with these financial services companies, automobile companies, e-commerce companies, political parties, governments, and we are supposed to communicate on behalf of them to their respective citizens or
their
customers.
Customers. Yes.
And they have a task, they have a goal, they have a message that they want to deliver.
Okay.
So if you deliver that message, how are they reacting?
Okay.
Because our job is to be that carrier where their message comes and we deliver.
Understood.
And what happens then? We study that. So the more I went deeper into it, I found my answer 3,000 years old books, 2,000-year-old books, all written in Sanskrit with no translation available. So we have hired a lot of PhDs, postdoctorals from JNU, computational linguists who have worked their entire career in Sanskrit, so that we can translate them back to our language for a larger audience.
It's amazing because one wouldn't have thought maybe 5 years back, which very honestly, that these are the kind of folks who would be the most in demand today.
True. I mean, I think I knew it. Somehow I was not able to maybe articulate it well enough for the audience, or maybe audience were not in that mindset again. So I think that is where it happened. I think that's
very interesting. So again, let's come back to Manthan. It's about the churn. It's about culture. We are in India. We have such a rich, beautiful, diverse heritage.
Blessed to be in this country.
Blessed to have this. Where it's our food, our festivals.
Everything.
It's incredible stuff.
Everything is logic based.
Amazing. So if you're saying that is a tradition, we're looking back, but we want to bring it to the forefront again because it makes a big difference.
Yes.
So what is the ways that this is getting immersed into the artificial intelligence, into the way society is behaving or reacting?
I think logic, Tarkshastra.
Okay. I'm learning a lot also.
So there was, we had a very beautiful concept of Shastrarth.
Okay.
Where two different schools of philosophies and different schools of philosophy which mutually coexisted. They had a way of thinking. They had a belief, and they used to question each other. And there was some very beautiful subject called epistemology.
Okay. I have no clue. Please explain.
So questioning the existence, what is life, and all that. Of course. Reality. Questioning the reality. I mean, somebody asked Dalai Lama very recently. I saw a video. About a particular question, but one response that stuck with me was we must not believe what it appears as it is. There is a
Interesting.
much deeper
Correct.
aspect of it,
Correct.
and only you can see it when you are still from inside. And how you can be still from inside when you have so many questions. That's why people are so restless today. So if you take time and go deep, find answers to those questions, you automatically will become calm.
Okay, interesting.
So
I want to ask you a couple of questions now. Okay, it's been coming out in the papers on YouTube, etc. So, artificial intelligence is able to create movie scripts.
Yep.
They're able to create some incredible songs.
Yep,
They're
yep.
showing collaboration with artists who are not really collaborated. But they somehow understood the nuances, their style, their voice, and the kind of lyrics that they write. And they've created hits. Super hits, which actually has not been done by those artists. So where does this all lead to? What happens to intellectual property? Chaos. Oh, well, I thought you were going to give a much more intelligent answer. But seriously, how does it work?
It's chaos. It's chaos because see, again, the question. Your question points back to the same question. What is self? If you understand a human life, it starts at t is equal to 0 when the person takes birth. And it ends when the t is equal to capital T, let's say X amount, whatever. In between, it's dx by dt. Per unit time, there is some delta. And if you measure it across over a period of time, you'll be able to identify what this human person had done. You may do the calculus, basically. So with so many individual human lives, whatever you want to refer to it, when what they exactly did, they did some dx by dt in their lifetime. It's a data. It's data, right? And what did you give AI? You gave AI logic. Back in the like early days, logicians were considered like like god level stuff. Again, the same era is going to come back.
It took a few hundred years or
many thousands of years ago. So, but we're fortunate that at least till recent 400 years ago, there was a lot of literature which we could lay our hands upon, and we got that information and we used it. So it's all about logic. AI is nothing. Decision making is based on what? Certain logic, certain condition. What is AI trying to do? You said that, you in your own words, take multiple artists and put whatever something good from that, something good from this.
The best of the best,
and then you club it together and you do it.
And it's incredible. The effect is awesome after that.
So this combination, how did it happen? Based on some logic, and you gave that logic to artificial intelligence system, which were able to discriminate. This is very good from this artist, this is very good from that artist, and if I club them together, it's gonna be a mind-blowing stuff.
The 1 + 1 is not 2 or 3, it's 11 almost, right?
Almost. You can say so.
Amazing. So then let's talk about this, okay? And this is maybe a bit sensitive, but we must talk about it. Again, coming back, Manthan, the churn, the chaos, curiosity, jobs.
Yes.
Where are the jobs? What's going to happen? And it's important, I think, for even curriculum or education, or for youngsters or people who are working in large companies. How do they change the way they are approaching learning, making themselves more relevant? How does this work?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult to put it into words. But if I have to say something, I would probably want to put it this way, that most of the chores that we were doing, like in our daily lives, will be automated.
Understood. Okay.
And you will find an app for it.
We have seen it happening, right? We have seen it happening with the
that will get further. So till now it was more of ops part that was getting automated.
Okay.
Now the intellect part, the cognitive task part, that will be like automated. Talk about like marketing people, content writers. It's
creating
not
any kind of content, videos or blogs, podcasts can be.
You give it to GPT, and you see the result. Less than 1 second.
Understood. And it's getting better. Because the more it's learning, the more input it is.
Because that's what humans do now.
True.
That's why I said it's very important even in human history. That now we are seeing the early signs of an intelligent machine.
Okay.
And I don't want to create further hysteria, so I would not further do that. But I think in terms of jobs, if you have to say so. So how education? Let's start with education, because job is a function of education, right? So obviously most of the things that we are studying in our schools, in our curriculum today, are more of like rote learning.
Yeah.
And, so which is not needed anymore,
Mm.
because internet was there.
In 1 second, you can just get any
Now you
information.
don't
Yeah.
get links, web links. You get
Mm.
answers.
Mm.
You know?
And very detailed, very articulate.
With
No
references.
spelling mistakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
with references.
With
No spelling
reference.
mistakes. Everything
Yes.
perfect.
Yeah. So if you are
Mm.
curious, you'll find all the answer at a fingertip. Like click and you get it.
Mm.
But the fundamental aspects, you have to understand the reality. Again, coming back to the philosophy side of it. So I think at early on, like the kids must be introduced to philosophical rigor, intellectual rigor, in a sense, like questioning.
Understood.
Which I was telling you earlier, asking right question is superpower. So what is the right question? How to raise right question? That becomes very important.
Okay, interesting.
And the other side of it is like the culture aspect, the literature aspect, the music, the creative aspect of life.
Languages.
Yeah,
Read
definitely.
books.
Yeah.
Go back a long
I
way.
think the more than anything else, right now we are in a state where the civilization is moving towards more creative way. We will see more. I would like to believe that we will see more progressive society, because people will be like reasoning will become very important. Ability to reason.
Understood.
That will become, so in a child it is important to inculcate that part, reasoning ability. Maybe it may be verbal, non-verbal, anything like that, but that is very important. So education needs to be the not education particularly, the content has to be designed in such a way that it promotes questioning, it promotes reasoning, it promotes sharing. And, I think the way this is the way forward. And if I have to pick one subject, we think that we are very individual, like we are so good, so bad, and we let something get into our head and collude our mindset. But ultimately, if you'll see, you are nothing but a byproduct of your environment.
Steve Jobs himself has come and spent time in India. The Beatles have come and spent time in India. Tim Cook, he just reached India yesterday. Whatever. So there is a lot of Indianness and there's a lot of philosophy and culture.
That's philosophy.
Why is that?
Because it's all started because we are inward looking. The whole world, other than India or Indic civilization, they were more interested and curious about what is outside, and we were inward looking. Inwards.
Yes.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then, there was everything. But as we race into a mystery called future, we and the machines are becoming one. In the middle of all the noise, our shared history keeps shaping us. In this brave new world of machines and us, how do we ensure this is not lost? Welcome to Manthan, a journey to unravel the interplay of AI, culture, and human evolution. The future, it's a mystery, and it's ours to solve. Join us in this adventure. Let's dive deep into the profound.
The content has to be designed in such a way that it promotes questioning, it promotes reasoning, it promotes sharing. And, I think the way this is the way forward. And if I have to pick one subject, which will be one or two subjects maybe, which will be very important for individuals who are growing up, I think that will be language, definitely, because without language, we are nothing. because the human civilization grew because
of languages.
Yes, and that is where, so there is one particular very good sentence in Sanskrit where the supreme consciousness once it thought, may I be many, aham bahu syama, may I be many.
Wow.
So that's when that particular conscious being shared with somebody, and then the communication started.
Interesting, very interesting.
So and even if you say shabd, like there is a very beautiful concept of something called shabd chatushtaya. That means we use words very loosely. We don't mean too much, but those who understand, they just respect that, man. Come on. So shabd also, when the word I'm speaking, it might come very very number of words per second is very high, right? But whenever a word is manifested in external reality, it goes through a series of steps.
Understood.
And there are like 4 parts to it.
All right.
So there is like the first one is called para.
All right.
The divine light which desires to speak, which is inside you.
Okay.
The desire to speak, para, right? The second step is pashyanti. Whatever you want to speak, it comes to your image. The image comes to your brain.
Got it.
Then there is madhyama, the steering of air through your organs, vocal organs. Okay. And the fourth part is the vaikhari, where the sound is actually manifested for the outer world.
All right, interesting. Okay. Very nice.
So this is so deep, and every word casts a spell.
Yeah.
And probably that's why we always have a spelling for a word.
Okay. Interesting.
We ask what is the spelling of a particular word.
Got it.
Every word has a spell. And what is that spell? That is a cognitive spell. If I say apple, you see, you mean, you interpret apple.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it.
So I think language is very important. Now the other part is, which is very, very crucial even today, is mathematics.
Mathematics. Okay, wow. Thank God it didn't say chemistry. All nightmares.
Because I think in chemistry, physics,
biology, physics, but mathematics is awesome.
Everything can be explained with mathematics.
Fantastic.
So if you are good at mathematics, you can do anything.
Correct.
You can do compute. Mathematics gives you logic.
And people say, the Japanese, and they have the old style of counting and all, and that's what makes them really, really good throughout their life, because their concepts, absorption is super.
That's why we need to further look inside, because we are the civilization, Indic civilization, we are so rich with so many languages.
Correct.
And each language has so many words.
Yes.
So many cognitions.
Absolutely.
Individual cognitions. If we don't preserve and promote those individual languages, we are losing those meaning forever. Losing those cognition forever. What a loss. You see, and our languages are so rich,
so beautiful, so diverse,
scientific.
Yes.
Forget everything else. It's
Sanskrit
scientific.
is a scientific language, they say.
I mean, Sanskrit is, but all the other languages that
Tamil,
we see,
Kannada,
mostly
Gujarati,
they are derivative of
amazing.
Sanskrit languages. Most of the root words are same. So, for example, I'll give you pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Lips are touching.
Okay.
Right? Pa, varg. All the pa, pha, ba, ma is together. Number of vowels. How many vowels we have in Sanskrit or Indic languages versus how many words we have. Let's say, for example, if I do it in English, 5. Now how does it create problem? Okay. There is a word called burger. We all know. B-U-R-G-E-R. So G-E-R is pronounced as gar. Now come to Germany. G-E-R.
Different way.
M-A-N-Y. Ger. Now same phoneme unit pronounced differently, it will create chaos and confusion, right?
Okay, interesting. Okay.
And why is it happening? Because they don't have rich vowels and they don't have rich consonants.
And that's what Indian languages is so very different that way.
Beautiful and more scientific, more expressive.
And so much of literature, so much of history, so much of
storytelling. That's a byproduct. I mean, you are coming to like graduate class. I'm at the nursery. I'm at the nursery level. The ka, akar, ka. No matter how you read, in which part of the world you read, ka, akar will always be pronounced as ka. Ka, ikar, always it will be pronounced as ki. Ka, ukar, always pronounced as ku.
Interesting.
You won't have different representation.
Correct.
और वन कू को क उकार को के और क उकार को नहीं पढ़ेंगे कभी हम,
Correct.
है ना?
So language by itself has got so much of depth.
Science, it's science. Language is all about, especially Indian language is all about science. I don't want to talk about others.
So I will give you a couple of corollary conversations that we must have. Okay. So now we are in Bangalore, India, startup capital, etc.
Yeah.
What does this mean for startups? What does
Epithets.
it mean for SMEs or whatever? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this very specifically. Is employment is important.
True.
Right? Because whatever said and done, we are not a welfare society.
True.
We have to create opportunities to make money, and also leisure time will happen. Maybe health will improve because you're doing less of the.
So is it that we want to make money, or is it that we want to live a good life?
We want to have a good life. We want to move up that, right? That self-actualization and optimization of your time, your effort, better lifestyle.
Yes, because what will you do with money?
We don't have time. We don't have the ability to spend.
You will buy experience.
Okay, interesting.
What will you do with money? You will buy experience.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So
people have aspirations. They want to travel. They want to.
Yes,
do so many things.
absolutely. Why they want to travel? Because they want to buy experience. They want to feel good. They want to have that experience.
Correct.
Right? But and there are other aspects. So how do you make money, MSME or jobs related? Anybody who's interested. I think if you are these two subjects, if you study, maths and language, and I think you will never be out of job.
Okay.
No matter how good, and obviously we will see more. We'll go back to that previous time where agriculture. I have a very strong hypothesis that the prices of agricultural land will go up very soon. People will buy the land because they can't eat money. They will eat food, and with so many people, so many job cuts, there will be a lot of disbalance. So this is it is very important.
Inflation is eating up quite a lot.
So with that thing into account, apart from that, I think regular sales job, I think I see still safe. Although SaaS is and people click on internet and do the sales themselves, there is no need for it. But I think still the traditional way of doing sales will be there. Business will go as usual, as in terms of like परचून की दुकान पे खाना, वो सब्जी का दुकान मिलेगा ही, वो चाहिए ही लोगों को. Those kind of works will be there. So how do you export these things outside the country so that you make more money?
Understood.
Rather than letting external people export their products to us. We should produce here and send it outside and make money out of it. And buy those experience.
Fantastic.
I think that's the way
Very beautifully captured, Vish. I can ask you a couple of other questions also. Tradition, culture and everything. So going back, we have so many beautiful board games from our culture, right? That's so amazing. We should keep that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, then I'll ask you, I've been reading about this. Let's say look, when you free time and you have your money, we're saying this is for maybe 20%, 30% of the people, but in India, that's a huge amount of people. More of travel, more of, things like reading, being curious, experiences, sports, cinema, theater, your skills will be going into that.
Definitely. I see there. I think that is what it is. Performing arts, music, literature. That is why one of our at Saarthi, it's a commitment to preserve and promote literary events. Recently, also we partnered with Kalinga Literature Festival.
Oh, very nice.
And we are sponsoring the entire event for Maithili language, which is happening on 29th of October this year in Madhubani in Bihar. Then there are other editions where something in Nepal they are doing. So for all the languages they are doing it. So we are doing our bit. We want to do that. But largely, definitely, I think we will see. That's why our civilization was so rich that we had so many dance forms.
Yes.
We had so many, scripts. Now coming to scripts, I'll tell you how beautiful it is. I mean, so diversity. So the Mithlakshar, the manuscript or the script that basically used to write Sanskrit or Maithili or certain other languages, if you see in the East India part, is like Tirutakshar. We use script that. We used to earlier, and that is it has a very distinctive feature. Amongst all the North Indian scripts that we have, and it is rounded in nature, and it is cursive.
Okay.
So why is it cursive script? Because it was easy and very fast. You could read or write.
Interesting. Very nice.
If you come to down south, and that Tarkshastra was also derived from Brahmic script only, Brahmi script
Understood.
only. If you go to down south in Tamil Nadu, Malayalam, Kannada, like Kerala side of thing, there was a beautiful script called Granth
Okay.
script, and it was from Pallav era. It came, so often also referred to as Pallav Granth also. And why it is called Granth? Because the palm leaves were like tied. So Granth, like Gira.
Wow.
So that's why it was called. And it is so beautiful. I mean, both Brahmic, different, and both were used to write different languages, but they were all derived from one single script.
Yes.
And there are so much diversity. If you compare Indian languages with the other language families, you'll see that so many distinct features. In Granth scripts or in Tamil scripts, you'll see the consonant and the vowel, when they come together, for that also there is a single alphabet, different alphabet. So you could write more freely, you could express more freely.
Yes.
If you once you
There
know
were
it.
no constraints.
Yes,
That's
it's not.
incredible, yeah.
And in Tarkshastra it was concept of matrika. We used to add different matra.
Yeah, that is matras, right?
Yeah.
Exam tension hota hai. One matra goes wrong. minus marks.
Yes.
But it was so critical. It
Yeah.
changes
So-
the entire meaning actually.
Yes. So the diversity is so rich. हमारे यहाँ जैसे कि non-plosive nasal sounds बहुत common है. Like बाकी languages में नहीं मिलते, बाकी language family में नहीं है. मतलब then you have like an aspirated consonant, aspirated consonants, है ना? ऐसे मतलब बहुत सारे यूनिक, कितना बताऊं, मतलब it's
an ocean.
Exactly. मतलब
This is just the first episode.
Yeah.
You can churn it more and we
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
because this is very interesting. This is incredible.
Yeah.
We have been talking for, I think half an hour, 45 minutes almost, and it's a lot. But let's get a couple of more things into the game, right?
Sure.
See, we talked about startups, we talked about language, we talked about mathematics, logic, intelligence, intellect, curiosity, reading, learning, all of this. At the same time, it's very evolving.
Yep.
Right? And we are getting this message out to as many people, as many communities out there, right? And little bit understanding, I want to know about neurosciences, NLP. How does that work?
Okay. So see, language is the acquired ability, No, nobody.
Yeah, you don't get born with it.
Yeah.
You can't download it like a matrix. So.
Yes. So, but again, coming back to the same question, self. If you have the fundamental clear, so you will realize that every individual is nothing but a, what do you call, reflection, pratibimb of the external reality, external
Understood.
environment. So we may think that, oh my God, I am Vishwa Nath Jha, and you may think, oh my God, I am Vijetha Shastry. But the name is also name is also given by somebody else.
Yes. When you're born, you're given it. You don't have a choice. But you have to live up to your name.
Yeah, that's
all the
different.
time.
that's different thing. But I'm just telling. I'm trying to reflect upon a point. Very important is that we think that we are very individual. Like we are so good, so bad, and we let something get into our head and collude our mindset. But ultimately, if you'll see, you are nothing but a byproduct of your environment. In which school, which family you were born, which area you were raised, which schools, friends,
makes such a difference. True.
Colleagues. Like that defined your worldview. Okay, that defined who you are. So you are nothing of individual. You are not. There is no such thing as called one individual.
The people you grew up with, your parental influences,
everything.
You're right.
So if you know that self, I think largely most of these issues are resolved. Because only people, those who are not clear in that sense, they, get into like petty things.
Correct.
ये कर लो, वो कर लो, ये अपने पास रख लो, इसको
But
दे
those
दो.
who are calm, serene, focused, have goals, they are very different, isn't it?
True. Because they have a purpose. See, ikigai in Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Purpose.
What's your purpose for living? That's why they are so healthy. They live well. They don't retire.
Because they have something to
look up to. And look forward to.
Yes.
That's why they get up. That's why they
Yes.
want to mingle with people.
Every morning when you wake up, that something is there to pull you out of your bed.
Yes.
That motivates you.
Amazing.
Right? So, and the more you, and a lot of people in the, like yesteryears, people used to go out and in सत्य की खोज में जाते थे लोग, है ना? They wanted to find the truth, the absolute truth, and the absolute truth is finding yourself.
Correct.
And once you find yourself, then you want to put a meaning to it.
Yes.
If you existed in this reality, in this dimension,
True.
what exactly do you want it to be remembered for? Although it doesn't mean anything, because you
Correct.
go and it's like there is no meaning attached to it. But as a human life, if you are living, you would want to
Some kind of legacy.
yeah,
Right,
you would want to live it.
Correct.
Leave it, right?
So Vish, tell me
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
We should also remember this, that many of the folks are so famous outside of India. Steve Jobs himself has come and spent time in India. The Beatles have come and spent time in India. Tim Cook, he just reached India yesterday. Whatever. So there is a lot of Indianness and there's a lot of philosophy and the culture.
That's philosophy.
Why is that?
Because it's all started because we are inward looking. The whole world other than India or Indic civilization, they were more interested and curious about what is outside, and we were inward looking inwards.
Yes.
Because here constantly companies are vying for your attention. In your phone notification,
Oh, yes.
when you go in cab, then on radios you see ads, on billboards you see ads.
People want their attention and your wallet share, mind share, whatever it is.
That's what you are constantly distracted. You're constantly, and people are not realizing it. So staying away from it, keeping your mind healthy is very important. You talked about neuroscience, right? So language, as I said, is a ability which is acquired. And because of language, because of words, we are able to interpret this reality.
Understood.
We are able to share something which you said and you just nodded your head because you understood it.
Correct. And you said to distinguish, to differentiate, to absorb, to stay curious, go deep, ask more questions.
Don't leave it.
Enhance your knowledge.
Yes.
Awesome,
Go
awesome.
until and unless you are convinced. Keep asking.
Okay. Super,
So and this neuroscience, if you do it a little bit more, so there is mind, brain, and what do you call the behavior.
Yeah.
So mind, often brain and mind people use interchangeably, but they are two different things. Brain is the biological side of it.
Got it.
Mind is the abstract part. It's the biochemical, hormones in this part of the body, which allows you to experience this reality. I mean, tell me if you can teach a color of perception of red color to a kid or a person who's blind since childhood. Can you teach the red color perception to that kid?
Not easy.
Not easy. It is impossible. I mean,
Children are different.
So what does this tell you? This body is just a medium to interpret this reality.
Yes.
तो ये जो माइंड जो आपको बोलता है कि यार ये ऐसी चीजें, ये डिस्टिंक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं, ये जो ट्रेनिंग है,
Understood.
ये बचपन से शुरू होती है, कंडीशनिंग.
Fantastic.
तो इसी को इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए आपको लैंग्वेज चाहिए. तो लैंग्वेज एंड न्यूरो साइंस टुगेदर, दैट्स व्हाई
combined together and awesome. Wish we can keep talking, but we got more episodes to come in. So what I would like to ask, just a 10-15 seconds, and what else can we expect from the upcoming episodes of Manthan?
I think the whole idea of Manthan is to educate and bring more topics into the discussion. How AI is actually intersecting with different streams of studies.
Okay.
Like for example, AI with psychology, AI with neuroscience,
Awesome.
AI with medicine, AI with language,
Correct.
AI with politics, anthropology,
Investment,
Investment.
wealth creation.
Yes.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, it can be
not?
so incredible.
Because this is, as I said in the very beginning, this is a very important event in human history, that human intelligence is now commoditized.
Yeah, so it's opportunity also. Massive opportunity. Awesome. My friend, thank you. This has
Thank
been
you very
incredible.
much.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be looking forward to this. And what I would also suggest is, once we get this content out, maybe we can also understand the kind of conversations that people are asking us, what questions they want.
Definitely.
And then let's build on this. All right?
Definitely.
Perfect.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Cheers.